Good morning, good morning. How are you on this lovely day? This is Mike Prince, and welcome to the Mike Prince Show. We got a lot in store for you on today, and we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about the latest and the greatest that's going on with Jada Pinkett Smith. We're also going to talk about Jamie Foxx, who was dubbed as a hero on last night. The Exodus from St. Louis, the Rams moving on to Los Angeles, the impact that would have. We also got this Ethan Couch update and a whole lot more in store for you. Keep it where you got it. We'll be right back with today's edition of the Mike Prince Show.
It's a new year, and that means tax season is here. And Gunderson's Bookkeeping can provide you with personal income tax preparation. For more information and schedule an appointment, call Gunderson's Bookkeeping at 936-372-2661. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, is a great opportunity for you to have your next community event, whether it be nonprofit, funeral reception, community, charity, government, church, or individuals. The Jazz Bar has the accommodations to meet your need. The Jazz Bar is open Thursdays through Sundays, and you can schedule your private parties Mondays through Wednesdays. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, dial 936-857-9566. You're listening to Community Radio on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, 87.9 FM, Prairie View, Texas.
It's a medical breakthrough. Doctors are prescribing something new to help prevent cancer and improve survival rates. But you don't get it filled at the pharmacy. The answer is as close as your local supermarket. That's right. Research has shown that a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, beans, whole grains, and other high-fiber vegetarian foods protects against cancer and can even help survival rates. Side effects of a vegetarian diet include increased energy, lower cholesterol levels, and better overall health. And with the right recipes, a high-fiber vegetarian diet can be a delicious way to help shed those unwanted pounds. So, stock up today. For a free nutrition booklet filled with delicious cancer-fighting recipes, visit cancerproject.org or call 866-906-WELL. That's 866-906-WELL. This message brought to you by the Cancer Project, committed to preventing cancer and improving survival.
While cutting molding with a 12-inch dual compound miter saw, while holding a newborn baby in your arms, when face-to-face with a congregation of alligators, with the ball in your hands and the entire freaking season on the line.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting, so why would you do it while driving? NASCAR driver Casey Kane here, asking you to please stop the text, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Get the message at stoptextstopwrecks.org.
What if I told you that for $36, you could make a big difference? At $36 a year, you can become a listening partner with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. This annual donation would help us continue the success of our broadcast throughout Waller County. Visit our website at ktorradio.com and become a listening partner today. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Good morning and welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I'm your host, Mike Prince. Want to remind you that we have an app that is available to you. It is simply called the Mike Prince Show. You can go to Google Plus Store and download the free app today, and you'll never miss another episode of the Mike Prince Show. Don't forget to visit our website at obn-radio.com. You can follow us on Twitter at obn_radio. Well, we're going to get right into today's show. Jamie Foxx is being dubbed as a hero as he was able to rescue the likes of a young man by the name of Brett Kyle, who was driving under the influence and had an accident right in the front of Mr. Jamie Foxx's home, and he immediately went out there disregard to his own personal well-being and pulled this young man out of this vehicle, which had collapsed several times. We're going to now switch over and hear the latest and the greatest going on about Jamie Foxx being dubbed as a hero.
Actor Jamie embraced the father of the man he pulled from a burning truck last night, likely saving his life.
I think we all hope that we could do something when the time is there, but the question is do we? Do we act, or do we fear our own lives? And he did not.
The Highway Patrol says 32-year-old Brett Kyle was speeding and driving under the influence when he swerved off the road, hitting a drainage ditch, causing his truck to flip several times, resting right in front of Fox's Hidden Valley mansion. It then burst into flames.
As I'm getting him out, and I said, you got to help me get you out, because I don't want to have to leave you. And I said, you got angels around you.
Kyle's family calls Fox a guardian angel, but the Oscar-winning actor is humble about his heroic actions.
I don't look at it as heroic. I just look at it like, you just had to do something, and it all just worked out, man.
Brad Kyle came to Fox's home today to see the scene of the accident, and the actor brought him inside, showing him security video of the crash.
I just kept watching it and going, my God, my God. He didn't have to do a thing.
And welcome back. As you heard, Mr. Jamie Foxx. I want to know if you paid attention to how they referred to Jamie Foxx. They said the Oscar-winning actor. And I know you're probably saying, well, what does Jamie Foxx have to do with anything? Leads me right into our lead story, Miss Jada Pinkett Smith. And once again, congratulations to Jamie Foxx for his unselfish acts of being a hero to save Mr. Brett Kyle from what could have been a fatality right in front of his home. But Miss Jada Pinkett Smith, for those who keep up with the latest and the greatest, and me personally, this is kind of out of my league, but it was something that I couldn't turn a blind eye to, so I'm just going to throw my little 2 cents in on it. Jada Pinkett Smith has teamed up with Spike Lee, and they are going to be protesting the Oscars. On a side note, I've never watched the Oscars, the Grammys, or none of that. That's not what I do, but it is something that is of relevancy right now, so we're going to report on this. Now, Jada Pinkett Smith has made a video stating her concerns about how she is really upset about the role of how Oscar nominations are selected and how it's anti-African American and so on and so forth. And she spoke elegant, still beautiful woman, and she let it be known how she felt about, and what some are saying, because her husband Will Smith, who has not been nominated for the Oscars this go around, and how she's responding to that. But on the backside of it, there was a response to her video by one of the co-actors of Will Smith, and that was Miss Janet Hubert. Now, she was the original Aunt Viv, and she was the dancer and this, that, and the other, and she recalls some statements that when times were different and they approached Will Smith about possibility that he was the star and everything, and how he should be able to go and get a voice and speak and help everybody get a little bit more money in their pockets, if you will. And Will's response was, I got my deal, you all work your deal out, and so on and so forth. So now the tides have turned a little bit, and so people are kind of going like, what goes around comes around, brother. We're not going to be fretting any of that and not worried about what's going on. So now the venom has struck, if you will, and it's not a pretty thing right now. So we're going to kind of keep up. And for the record, Jada Pinkett Smith, that's the news that she's boycotting this thing. But one thing about that I'll give credit to, Spike Lee has always been this I'm going to do my own thing type individual. and he's proven. And I got to admit, my brother has given me a hard time. I've never really watched a lot of television or movies in particular, and I've never really watched a lot of the Spike Lee movies, to believe it or not. And for the first time, I'm almost ashamed to even admit this, but for the first time, 2015, I watched, what was the movie? School Days, and I watched the movie Jungle Fever. I believe that's what it was called. And pretty good movies and some great messages and undertones to it. And I just never watched it. I've always, been preoccupied, if you will. So, but pretty good movies, pretty good deals. And so Jada Pinkett Smith is boycotting the Oscars, and Miss Janet Hubert is blasting Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. She even went as far as to say that, hey, they got their own production company. They could do some things other than hire their friends and families to give people exposure, to give people opportunities. And in translation, she said karma is a beast when you dish stuff out and then you finally get it to come back in. So that's my Hollywood spiel for the moment. I'm not that good at it, but that's okay. You got the gist of what's going on. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with our second segment. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show live right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Tell a friend. We'll be right back.
Apple Ford Hyundai is a dealer you can count on. Apple's range of car services include new Ford Hyundai sales, used car sales, car loans, and auto financing. Certified Ford Hyundai Auto Service Department, full selection of Ford Hyundai auto parts and aftermarket accessories. Come on out to Brenham, Texas, and find out why Apple Ford Hyundai has been named the best kept secret in Brazos Valley. They're located at 1820 Highway 290 West in Brenham, Texas. You can dial their toll-free number at 888-898-6095. There's even an internet sales division. Simply go to www.appleford.com. Apple Ford Hyundai of Brenham, Texas. It's a new year, and that means tax season is here. And Gunderson's Bookkeeping can provide you with personal income tax preparation. For more information and schedule an appointment, call Gunderson's Bookkeeping at 936-372-2661. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, is a great opportunity for you to have your next community event, whether it be nonprofit, funeral reception, community, charity, government, church, or individuals. The Jazz Bar has the accommodations to meet your need. The Jazz Bar is open Thursdays through Sundays, and you can schedule your private parties Mondays through Wednesdays. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, dial 936-857-9566.
Hello and welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I am your host, Mike Prince, and thank you so much for joining us on this 20th day of January 2016. As you have heard last week, and you heard out of my disgust that the St. Louis Rams have been approved to be relocated back to Los Angeles, California, where they will return to be the LA Rams. They revealed their logo on last week. It's going to be the same color themes. Instead of St. Louis, it has Los Angeles on it. And it's just a big disappointment for my beloved city. And it's one of those things that is like a gut check, man. It hits you in the gut. And it is hard to overcome. This is the second time that this has happened to my beloved city, St. Louis. But there was a deal that says there were three essential factors that kind of weighed in on this relocation approval. And number one, that it was a secret ballot voting. So the owners who would favor this relocation back to Los Angeles, they didn't have to really answer to anyone, and they don't have to be told or even exposed to who did it. But if you got 30 out of 32 owners, it's pretty much anybody and everybody that said, hey, let's make this move. And then you cannot omit the deep pockets of the Rams owner. You know, money talks and everything else walks. And number three is just a history repeating itself. You're not going to rebuke powerful owners and turn down their money and their opportunity for them to even make more money. So it was one of those episodes of money being the ruler, and it took care of business. The Rams are gone. St. Louis is left hanging, but from my understanding, the city is going to move forward with this stadium project. And then you got some others saying, hey, let it alone. Let's move on and let's put this money somewhere else. Let's focus on being a convention town. And they do have the St. Louis Baseball Cardinals. So all is not lost. It is a gut check, and it is a stiff blow to everyone involved, but it's okay. It's going to be all right. Which leaves what will be the future of the city of St. Louis. With this massive exodus of the Los Angeles Rams returning, what is that going to do towards the economy of St. Louis? There are a lot of jobs that are going to be leaving. Some have even gone as far to say that this is a systematic attack on the city of St. Louis to create a second Detroit. Is this Detroit happening all over again? And speaking of Detroit school system is really at a battle right now. They are, I tell you what, I'll just let this clip play and we'll come back and talk about the Detroit situation and the possibilities of St. Louis becoming the next Detroit.
School conditions like this at Spain Elementary prompted Detroit public school teachers to call a sick-out several days this week. 64, or roughly two-thirds of the city's public schools, were closed Monday, leaving thousands of students out of the classroom, sparking Michigan's Division of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration to launch an investigation into Spain Elementary School.
This is our gym wing. We have been told that this portion of the building is off limits to us as of 2 months ago. Our pool has been empty like this for about 6 years. We've now been banned from our own playground. No gym and now no playground.
20 minutes away at Frank Cody High School, Principal Latoya Hall King told the national president of the American Teachers Federation, who flew in from Washington for the meeting, conditions at the school are intolerable, from a rodent infestation to girls' bathroom stalls having no doors, the technology classroom without access to the internet.
I see a lot of bad situations. This ranks about some of the worst.
Additionally, water leaks at the school, fixed but never sealed.
I've been in this building about 40 minutes now, and I am hoarse. I wasn't hoarse when I walked in. Are you concerned about that for the children?
Absolutely. There's clearly environmental issues when you have leaks in buildings, when you have carpeting that has been leaked upon.
Darnell Early, appointed 1 year ago by the governor to head emergency management for the district, says not all of Detroit's 97 public schools have these issues. And with an accumulated debt of $515 million, they have to make tough decisions on what schools get what improvements first.
Financially, we don't have the capacity, and decisions have been made for years about how best to use those dwindling resources. You have to really use a kind of a crystal ball to decide what's the best way to spend these few dollars.
This Detroit Parent Network Forum Thursday night, teachers got support across the board, but not everyone agreed on the tactic of the sick out.
I believe it's a bad thing for the children. I believe that their education, should have really been considered and thought about.
Although the community is divided on what to do about very real challenges, and until the district can get money, the students will continue to bear the burden.
What I worry about is losing the teachers and also closing down the schools.
Now, someone might be saying, Mike, that seems a bit extreme to be trying to compare St. Louis possibly to the next Detroit. But if you really look at how this thing works now, Detroit situation where if you heard the spokesman for the school district say we have very limited funding, we have tough decisions to make, and it's just rough. We don't have enough money, and I understand that. I empathize with that greatly. But when you have a situation to where you are really choking the life out of the future, the children or the future, and without a solid education, you don't have a fighting chance to overcome some of the very existing situations. You're talking about 66% of the schools within the city are in deplorable conditions. You can't continue to turn a blind eye, a deaf ear to that particular situation. Now, we talked about the city of St. Louis is to continue to try and go on with this stadium project when you could have a very same thing come up with your public schooling system as you have in Detroit. Detroit, they do have 2 professional teams, but I would like to see if you can't keep a team, and God knows that I am St. Louis proud, but don't keep spending money into a situation that's going to leave you destitute as far as your people are concerned, as far as your children are concerned. Take that $100 billion that you were willing to invest and put it back into the school systems. Not saying that St. Louis systems do not have access to the internet, as you heard in that clip, but you don't want to get to that situation. Invest in these kids to build their trades where they can continue the economic growth and development of my beloved city. Just my little 2 cents, just what I'm thinking, like, hey, man, we got to do something to try and make a little sense out of all of this. It's a sad situation. It's a rough situation, and it's to the point now where you got to stop turning your head and hoping that it goes away and acting like you don't see what the problem is. There is a problem, and because there is a problem, you got to do more than just hoping somebody else will take care of that problem. At some point, as individuals, you have to step up and say, hey, if I don't do anything, it won't get done. If I don't say anything, it won't be said. So you can't worry about what you don't have. Work with what you do have, and then go on and try to make something out of all of this, because it's crazy to think, it's crazy to act like that there's not a problem or a potential problem. And I'm not just talking about St. Louis. It could be in our beloved township of Prairie View, anywhere USA. At some point you got to look and say, you know what? My future is going to depend on how we serve and train our children, how we raise them up to get them to the next level. And it's just one of those deals where we just got to say, hey, somebody's got to step up and say it's going to start and end with me. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show. I'm your host, Mike Prince. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with more of today's coverage. Hello, this is Mike Prince, the host of the Mike Prince Show, featured right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Just wanted to share with you that we have our app available where you can go and download it at Google Play absolutely free. You'll never miss another show. You can catch up with old archives, and you can pass it on. It's the gift that keeps on giving. The Mike Prince Show app available at Google Play absolutely free. Talk that makes sense. The Mike Prince Show, right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. You're listening to Community Radio on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, 87.9 FM, Prairie View, Texas. Apple Ford Hyundai is a dealer you can count on. Apple's range of car services include new Ford Hyundai sales, used car sales, car loans, and auto financing. Certified Ford Hyundai Auto Service Department, full selection of Ford Hyundai auto parts and aftermarket accessories. Come on out to Brenham, Texas, and find out why Apple Ford Hyundai has been named the best kept secret in Brazos Valley. They're located at 1820 Highway 290 West in Brenham, Texas. You can dial their toll-free number at 888-898-6095. There's even an internet sales division. Simply go to www.appleford.com. Apple Ford Hyundai of Brenham, Texas.
Okay, astronaut, you're up. You'll be meeting with Wish Kid Brandon.
Roger, Brandon.
His wish is to see a space shuttle launch.
All systems are go. We are cleared for liftoff.
This year, more than 27,000 children will be diagnosed with a life-threatening medical condition. And, Cowboy?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll be meeting with Shayla at a dude ranch in San Antonio.
Let's saddle up.
Some will miss school. Some will miss time with their family and friends. Princess, are you here?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for rescuing me from that evil witch.
Juliana wishes for a princess-themed room makeover.
That sounds magical.
But with your help, the Make-A-Wish Foundation can lift their spirits and give them a special kind of hope. Pirate!
Yar!
You're up for Isaac's wish.
Aye, aye, Captain.
The wishes of thousands of children are waiting to come true.
You can help make my wish happen. Visit wish.org today.
With over 20 years of experience as a lawyer, attorney Lee Van Richardson Jr. can help you with whatever your need may be. Divorce, car accidents, criminal case, wills, deeds, trust, civil suits, parent and child relationships. Contact Richardson's Law Office located at 1047 Austin Street in Hempstead, Texas. You can call them at 979-826-8008. Attorney Lee Van Richardson Jr. in Hempstead, Texas. Welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I'm your host, Mike Prince. Thank you for joining today's show. As often and always, you can go to our website at obn-radio.com. Follow us on Twitter at obn_radio. We have an Instagram page as well. That is OBN Radio. And don't forget our Facebook page at Open Mic Broadcast Network. That is OPEN, capital MIC. Broadcast Network. Well, it's time for us to give you the Ethan Couch update. As you know, we have been talking about this young man, Mr. Affluenza himself, and he was brought back to the U.S., and now they're saying that he was possibly told that he had to go. He was forced beyond his control, that he must go on and flee the country. And now he's back, and his attorneys now are kind of crawfishing, talking about that people have got this affluenza and they've taken it and misinterpreted everything that they said and how they intended it to be. Now it's a bigger thing than what it should have been. And according to Mr. Eric Boyles, who's one of the victims or surviving victims' husband, says, look here, you brought it on yourself. We'll get the latest and the greatest going on from Mr. Boyles on the Ethan Couch case, and we'll come back and drop our little 2 cents in it.
Eric, I heard you say that you wanted to hear 2 words from Ethan Couch yesterday that you never actually heard. What were those words?
I'm sorry. You know, to expect probably a 16-year-old in this environment to rattle off some eloquent statement was not necessarily expected, I don't think, from the victims' families. But, even just an attempt to muster, I'm sorry, would have went a long way. And we've not heard that anywhere along the way.
Do you think he is sorry? I mean, do you think he understands what he's done?
Well, based on what you see and the emotions in the courtroom, I don't get that. I've heard his attorneys speak to that. I can tell you that, in general, from the victims' families, we certainly have not seen any remorse, and we certainly have not seen any attempt to provide remorse.
The fact that this young man was sentenced to probation and treatment instead of a juvenile detention facility where he could have also gotten treatment, do you have any doubt that basically money was behind that decision, money that paid for his attorneys and paid for, fancy doctors and influenced the judge's decision about what kind of a facility for him to ultimately go to?
Had money not been available for the defense, for the expert witnesses that were there, as well as money available for an additional treatment facility typically not offered to other youthful offenders, it absolutely played into the decision that was made. The reason they're walking it back today is because of the media outcry that followed is negative. Even if you just take away, okay, Ethan couldn't know better because of the way he was raised, the affluenza still applies to the fact of the level of defense that was provided, of the expert witnesses that were there to testify on his behalf, and the fact that he could pay for a $450,000 facility a year. So I was actually surprised to hear them attempt to walk back the affluenza term. They created it. The outcry follows it. And now they wish that, indeed, that the negative focus wasn't so much around affluenza. My own opinion is that doesn't go away.
Absolutely right. It does not go away. They created it. Now they've got to deal with it. And you heard right out of the words of Eric Boyle, all I want this kid to say is, I'm sorry. How difficult is that? I'm sorry. I messed up. I have a problem. But you're avoiding the very thing that could nip all this in the bud. Okay, the fact you have money that you can pay $450,000 a year, I'm not even upset about that. I mean, hey, God bless you. You got it, flaunt it. But to have a genuine concern that you've taken 4 lives, and the fact that you have not had to face any manslaughter charges, as I told you last week, a couple of weeks ago, another man in Austin, Texas, exact same thing. He got sentenced to life in prison. Killed 4 people, 23 years old. This young man's life is gone. And you have every opportunity to right the wrong, and you can't even say, I'm sorry. You can't even stick to probation. But yet, you want America to feel sorry for you. You want America to feel empathy for you. It's hard to have empathy for you when you're acting like you're above the law. Your parents are acting like they're above the law. And everybody at one point was really turning a deaf ear to this story. And you heard that the media's outcry, and they began to look into this thing and dig deeper into this thing. It's like, wait a minute, this is not a one-time incident. There has been a history of this thing going on. And now the attorneys are trying to back up and say, wait a minute, the media has taken and twisted this thing when it was for the most part, and to be quite honest with you, it was the that didn't even touch this story for a long time. They let it lay under the radar for a long time. It wasn't until recently that it started picking up momentum. So as Mr. Boyle said, you created it. Now deal with it. We'll let you see how this continues to unfold. As you notice, it's moved a little bit down on our segment list and our playlist because, like I said, we inform, we keep up with what's going on, and then we try to, keep it fresh and keep it moving. And speaking of keeping it fresh and keeping it moving, my beloved Steelers. Oh, boy, that was a tough one for me to deal with. We'll attempt to talk about that on the next segment. You listen to the Mike Prince Show live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We'll take a break, and we'll come right back with our sports segment. Keep it where you got it. We'll be right back.
It's a new year, and that means tax season is here. And Gunderson's Bookkeeping can provide you with personal income tax preparation. For more information and schedule an appointment, call Gunderson's Bookkeeping at 936-372-2661. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, is a great opportunity for you to have your next community event, whether it be nonprofit, funeral reception, community, charity, government, church, or individuals. The Jazz Bar has the accommodations to meet your need. The Jazz Bar is open Thursdays through Sundays, and you can schedule your private parties Mondays through Wednesdays. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, dial 936-857-9566. Hello, this is Mike Prince, the host of the Mike Prince Show, featured right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Just wanted to share with you that we have our app available where you can go and download it at Google Play absolutely free. You'll never miss another show. You can catch up with old archives, and you can pass it on. It's the gift that keeps on giving. The Mike Prince Show app available at Google Play absolutely free. Talk that makes sense. The Mike Prince Show, right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I'm your host, Mike Prince. Hope you're enjoying yourself wherever you may be. We have gotten to the point of a tough segment for me on this week. Man, oh man, oh man. NFL playoff season. This is football at its finest hour, if you will. Down to the Final Four. In the NFC, you'll have the Arizona Cardinals traveling to take on the Carolina Panthers, where it will be Mr. Cam Newton and the Panthers leading the charge against Mr. Carson Palmer and the Arizona Cardinals. I'm kind of torn between these two teams because of the fact I have some ties with the Arizona Cardinals when, of course, they were with the St. Louis Cardinals before they took Exodus in 1988. And then you have the Carolina Panthers, which has been a team of destiny. This team has faced the persecution of their fearless leader, Mr. Cam Newton. They've given him a hard time about his DAP, or DAT, whatever they call it, and giving him a hard time. He's a show-off when Mr. Hail Mary himself, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, can do his discount double check, little dance, and everything is all right. As a matter of fact, they even create commercials for him to continue to get paid. But I digress. I don't even need to go on and talk about that. So now I got to choose. My whole weekend was blown out the water as far as picking. I picked Green Bay to be victorious over the Seahawks or whoever. I don't even remember, man. My season is just at a loss. And I guess I might as well go ahead and talk about the AFC. My beloved Pittsburgh Steelers had the game in hand. And all of a sudden, a turnover, the only turnover, had us packing our bags and moving on to the destitute of winter months, to hibernate and slumber and wish for the new season to hurry up and begin. The Steelers, I'm still proud. It's just a tough loss. The Broncos and the Patriots will face off, and it's really the lesser of two evils, if you ask me. Who would I like to see win this game? And it's not even about who I would like to see win the game. It's about who I believe will win the game. And at this stage of the game right now, I would have to say that the Patriots would probably end up representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. And from the NFC side, I am going to have to say the Carolina Panthers, even though I would not be surprised if the Cardinals end up making their way to the big dance. But I'm going to go, and I'm going to play it safe, if you will, and pick the Carolina Panthers. And I believe that would be a rematch of the 2001 Super Bowl where the Panthers and the Patriots got together. And, of course, the Patriots were victorious in that one. But with the likes of Cam Newton, it's hard to kind of go against those guys. They've proven that they're not a fluke. And it's like every week people are waiting on these guys to flop and fall out. But they continue to be resilient. They're holding on. They're doing what they got to do. And they're taking care of business. And speaking of taking care of business, I take it to heart that I really don't like to give people too hard of a time. You know, everybody's going to support their teams, and everybody is going to be, proud of who they root for, and that's all fine. But I got to go in on some of my beloved brothers and sisters. I got so many texts, tweets, and some Twitter comments on the loss of the Steelers, and majority of these comments were coming from Cowboy fans. Of all the people to talk trash, Cowboy fans who haven't won a playoff game in 20 years, talking trash, maybe next year and this, that, and the other. And I'm going like, really? Of all the people, now those that listen to the show, my wife is a big Cowboy fan, and we have our little fun, and my brother's a Buccaneer fan. We have our fun, and then I got some fraternity brothers that are Cowboy fans, and secret code underground texting me, giving me all this hard time. But Cowboy fans, you all need a whole lot of work to do, a whole lot of work to do, and you got the nerve to talk trash. But that's okay. You're still chasing us as far as Super Bowl championships, playoff appearances, and just win. Just win. 4 wins in a season. And you guys want to talk trash. And we them boys. We them boys. Yeah, I guess y'all are them boys. And to God be the glory. Nothing like a Cowboys fan. I really, really, really don't get that at all. But that's neither here nor there. NFL playoffs will continue to go on. It is basketball season, and college basketball season in particular. You know that we love to support the Southwestern Athletic Conference, the Prairie View A&M University Panthers in particular. The Panthers right now, from the women's perspective, they are in decent shape, but we're going to start off with the men's. They're they're bringing in the rear right now in the conference. Overall, they're 1-16, and in conference play, 1-4 on a current 3-game losing streak. They have some games scheduled coming up. We'll go over their Monday game against the Jackson State Tigers. Failed 60-57, which actually was a competitive game. Other scores in the Southwestern Athletic Conference saw Alcorn State victorious over Arkansas Pine Bluff, 73-65. Texas Southern, 69. Grambling, 54. Southern, 67. And Mississippi Valley, 54. So with the current standings from the men's division, the Texas Southern Tigers, they're 5-0 in conference play, 6-11 overall. They're currently on a 5-game winning streak. Southern University, they're 4-2 conference play, 12-7 overall. They're on a 4-game winning streak. Jackson State is 4-2 conference play, 9-10 overall, currently on a 1-game winning streak. Alcorn State, 4-2, 6-11 overall, 3-game winning streak. Grambling, 3-3, 6-12 overall, a 1-game losing streak. Alabama A&M, 2-3, 6-8 overall. They have a 1-game winning streak. Mississippi Valley Delta Devils, 2-3 overall, 2-3 conference play, 2-17 overall. They're currently on a 2-game losing streak. Then you have Alabama State, 1-4. That's kind of a surprise. They're 1-4 in conference play, 6-11 overall, 2-game losing streak. Arkansas Pine Bluff, 1-4 conference play, 3-16 overall, 2-game losing streak. And of course, as we mentioned, Prairie View bringing up the rear, 1-4 overall, or in conference play, 1-16 overall. From the women's side of the track, the Lady Panthers, as we mentioned, they're at the 6th seed right now. But before we get into all of that, we will give you some scores from this Monday's event, as the Lady Panthers were victorious over Jackson State, 62-52. Texas Southern, 62-50 over Grambling. Alcorn, 69. And Arkansas Pine Bluff, 71. That was a good game. And you had Southern over Mississippi Valley State, 99-86. Games coming up this week on the men and women's side. Prairie View will be hosting Arkansas Pine Bluff this coming Saturday. You have Alabama State will travel to take on Southern University. Grambling will be at Jackson State. Alabama A&M will be at Alcorn, and Mississippi Valley will be at Texas Southern. And we will give you the standings now from the women's perspective as they get ready. Texas Southern on top in the women's division, 5-0 conference play on a 8-game winning streak. They are 9-6 overall. The Lady Jags of Southern, 5-1 conference play, 5-game winning streak. They're 8-7 overall. Grambling State Lady Tigers, 4-2 conference, 7-10 overall, 1-game losing streak. They're in the 3rd seed. Alabama State, 3-2 conference play, 5-9 overall with a 3-game winning streak. Jackson State, 3-game losing streak, 9-8 overall, 3-3 in conference play. Prairie View A&M Lady Panthers, 2-3 conference play, 6-8 overall, 1-game winning streak. Alabama, they're in the 6th seed. Alabama in the 7th seed, 2-3 conference, 3-12 overall, 1-game losing streak. Arkansas Pine Bluff, 1-4 conference play, 4-12 overall, 1-game winning streak. Mississippi Valley, 1-4 conference play, 3-12 overall with a 4-game losing streak. You have Alcorn State bringing up the rear. They're 1-5 in conference play, 3-13 overall on a 1-game losing streak. Panthers right now struggling on the hardwood from the men's side. We got baseball season and softball season really right around the corner. And remember that you can listen exclusively to Prairie View Panthers baseball right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We have well over 60 games, college baseball games scheduled between the Prairie View A&M University Panthers and the Wharton County Junior College Pioneers right here exclusively on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. So we're trying to give you all the latest and the greatest that are going on throughout, and reminding you all that you can keep up with Panther sports right here through our Twitter account at obn_radio, and visit our website at obnradio.com, and we'll give you a little feedback on some things going on back and forth. We're going to take us another break. We'll talk to you about some things we got going on locally here at the station and how you can be a part of helping us to continue our successful run. You listen to the Mike Prince Show exclusively on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back with our final segment. Hello, this is Mike Prince, the host of the Mike Prince Show, featured right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Just wanted to share with you that we have our app available where you can go and download it at Google Play absolutely free. You'll never miss another show. You can catch up with old archives, and you can pass it on. It's the gift that keeps on giving. The Mike Prince Show app available at Google Play absolutely free. Talk that makes sense. The Mike Prince Show right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Apple Ford Hyundai is a dealer you can count on. Apple's range of car services include new Ford Hyundai sales, used car sales, car loans, and auto financing. Certified Ford Hyundai Auto Service Department, full selection of Ford Hyundai auto parts and aftermarket accessories. Come on out to Brenham, Texas, and find out why Apple Ford Hyundai has been named the best kept secret in Brazos Valley. They're located at 1820 Highway 290 West in Brenham, Texas. You can dial a toll-free number at 888-898-6095. There's even an internet sales division. Simply go to www.appleford.com. Apple Ford Hyundai of Brenham, Texas. It's a new year, and that means tax season is here. And Gunderson's Bookkeeping can provide you with personal income tax preparation. For more information and schedule an appointment, call Gunderson's Bookkeeping at 936-372-2661. Welcome back to our final segment of this week's show. Man, time truly flies when you're having fun. I want to remind you that you can keep up with us and all that we have going on throughout the world of sports and beyond. We are prideful in making sure that we represent our community to the best of our ability, and we cannot do that without you. Remember to follow us on Twitter at obn_radio. Like our Facebook page at Open Mic Broadcast Network. That is OPEN capital MIC Broadcast Network. Our Instagram account is OBN Radio. OBN Radio. Go ahead and check us out. We're even available on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeartRadio and go OBN Sports, and you'll be able to keep up with everything that's going on. For those of you who are not aware, we do have our listening partnership campaign coming up February 1st through March 15th. You could be a part of our spring campaign. All we ask you to do is partner up with us with a $36, $24, or $12 annual donation to help our listening partnership grow and continue to bring you these programs. We give you over 400 live athletic events each and every year. High school and collegiate college. No one else is able to provide that. The NFL has its coverage. The NBA have their coverage. MLB has their coverage. And we take care of our student athletes within the local and regional area. We provide coverage throughout the St. Louis Public High School area as well, and of course here in Texas. So be sure to partner up with us. You can find out more information at our website at obn-radio.com. We also have our gospel channel at the KTORradio.com. You can check that out and find out everything that's going on in and out about. Those who listen to the show on a regular basis know that last week I made a public announcement, and I'm going to back it up again and let you know that I have decided to try to serve my community a bit further and a bit deeper, as I will be running for the position of mayor of the city of Prairie View, and would love your support. You can support in several different ways. You can become part of the campaign. You could become part of the vote if you're living in the Prairie View area, or you can always make a financial donation to help support the campaign efforts. I never realized that campaign signs cost as much as they do. So, as I was taught, shade from a toothpick in the middle of a desert beats nothing at all. So if you would like to be a contributor to the Michael Prince for Mayor campaign, visit our website at Michael Prince for Mayor. That is MICHAEL Prince, the number 4, mayor.com. MichaelPrinceForMayor.com. It is a tax-deductible donation, and it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I want to thank you all so much for joining us on this week's edition of the Mike Prince Show. We pray that something was brought to enlighten you, to entertain you, and to help your day move a little bit further down the road. As always, we try to tell you, if you're not a part of the solution, then you are part of the problem. Find yourself busy, do the best that you can do, and when you do your best, God is pleased. Until next week, be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.